Well, welcome to another awesome Tuesday. Your girl here, Healthy Talks with Coach T. And today we're going to talk about what is our relationship with food. But before we get to that, I want to thank you for being with me here today live. Let me know that you can hear me. I'm using new equipment. And it's another great Tuesday. I mean, the sun is shining. And I'm going to quickly thank the Lord for this day. Thank Him for bringing us together. That whatever from His heart and His thoughts into my heart to give to you, to give you value today, so that you can make one change in your life in terms of your health. I've done my job. So I want to thank the Lord already for that. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. So as we start this beautiful Tuesday morning, which is very bright, I know we're all back to school and work. Um, I just wanted to kind of lay some things on you in reference to your health. I know what you're seeing today is a little different than where I'm usually positioned. I'm in another room in our home, and I'm just testing things out with regard to my videos that I'm bringing to you on a regular basis. Just to remind you guys, I'm here every Tuesday, 7:30 a.m. If you feel called to, please share this out with your friends, your family, your cousins, your aunties, your moms. Although I work with women, men can benefit too, but I just think it's so important with regard to us learning so much about getting our health together, because that's what God wants for us. He wants us really to be healthy. And there's so many passages I can go to, but right now I just feel in my heart to share that with you right away. So let's get into this with regard to our relationship with food. For those who don't know me, I'm Coach T. I'm a health lifestyle coach, and I work with women facing chronic conditions and facing diagnosis. So I help them with healthier eating habits so that they can have a better quality of life, so they can have more confidence and they can have less pain and aches, and just be able to forgive themselves overall and all the things that they're facing, so they can see themselves as God sees them. So let's kind of talk about this today. And it's kind of interesting how I'm doing this, because I'm holding a computer. I'm holding a computer and I'm giving my notes. I like to stay on track. So just want to let you know, first of all, when we talk about relationship with food, I thought about relationships just in general. Relationships can be very simple, and some can be very messy and complicated. So we'll see which way this is going as you guys chime in. Let me know that you are here on the replay also. And I'm definitely going to have some questions for you as we kind of go to. So I personally am a person that likes things simple. I do a lot of routines. I don't like a lot of fuss with my food, as long as it's delicious. I will definitely be eating it, and that's a habit that I have to work on still today. Because there's one point in my life, if you have not heard my story, with the fact of me facing the diagnosis of systemic lupus, I in turn went into denial, and I ate and uncontrollably ate myself 100 pounds overweight. And my favorite thing is sugar, which I'm still battling today. So don't judge me. I'm still working on it. But I've gotten a lot better than I was in the days. So welcome. I can't see who's on live. Just let me know by giving a shout out, so I can give you a shout out too in the comments. Okay. So, oh, I hit that wrong. Sorry, guys. Anyway, so relationship types of this. Um, you know, uh, I was very unhealthy back then, first of all, when we talk about food and our associated food. But I wanted to kind of bring to you different types of relationships, just in general with people, to kind of see where you're at with regard to food. And there's so many more types of relationships than the one I'm going to lay down to you right now. First one is a monogamous type of relationship. That's usually a one and only. It's a commitment to you and that person. The second one is just for now. Anybody's ever had these kind of relationships? It's temporary. It's a fling. You have no commitment to that person. The third one is friends with benefits, with a lot of us probably have experienced. Some of them may not, but I would say the way the world is going right now, um, a lot of people have done this, and that's friends having casual sex without commitment. The fourth one is codependent. Ooh, this is a big one, when you're dependent on the other person, intertwined emotionally, unable to function without that person, without your person. In other words, um, everything you do almost every day is based around that person. And if they're not in your life, unfortunately, your emotions are definitely dictated by that. Number five is a relationship that's on the rebound. And I've definitely been in that situation. Put in the chat if you've ever experienced being in a rebound situation. You jump immediately into a new relationship just after you had a breakup. And I know that happens to me. I think back in high school. I'm really dating myself now. I know that. Okay, another type of relationship is a good fit relationship. How many of us have that where it's really healthy, it's harmonious, you feel really safe, you have great open communication with that person? And one more relationship I wanted to share with you is called a toxic relationship. Now, remember, relationships with any of this can definitely go with food, but I know a lot of things in life. But toxic is one that I probably don't really need to define too much, but it really has a lot of secrecy in it, judgment, guilt, and blame. So those are seven different types of relationships, just if we're talking about people. But I want to reflect this on how this affects us with food, because when we think about it, which one of those seven is you with food? How does this really look for you with your current relationship with food? Are you one of the seven? Are you in a toxic relationship with the food? Are you in a good fit? Are you on the rebound? Are you codependent? Are you friends with benefits? Are you just for now? Are you monogamous relationship with your food? So I want you to take some time to really reflect on this, because some of the things I thought about this was that when I have and I'm telling you, my relationship with food is a lot different now than it was back then. I remember back then, at the height of my journey in my health, it was like, can I just get one more bite? Can I just get one more bite? Or I used to be a very, very volume eater. In other words, on my plate, I would put like huge amounts of food on my plate, right? A diverse plate of food, but it was all these foods that I would put in. I'd be stuffing myself, overflowing with food, and all the um, all the deliciousness of it, and you just really overeating and really being gluttony. Some of us are about counting the calories of everything we do in terms of our relationship with food. Like we're really stigmas about making sure we get a certain amount of calories, and then some of us might be feeling, hey, I deserve to eat more of the treat I want or the favorite I want because I exercised today or I did an extra hour in that. So I found this stat, because I'm always about stats and just kind of give some more credence to what we're talking about. I found out in the Mayo Clinic, and a lot of us have heard about the Mayo Clinic, especially when we talk about health and the like. But Dr. Stephen Kopecky shares this: 57% of calories of our daily eating comes from ultra processed foods. You gotta think about it. That's more than half of our daily eating is based on packages, boxes, bottles, and bags. That is really interesting. And it says our genetics put us at risk for developing different diseases. So even in addition to us already here, and especially in America, are eating 57% of ultra processed foods, now we're going to add genetics of your generation on top of that, that gives us these different diseases. So when we eat unhealthy, it increases us dying from stuff like heart disease or type 2 diabetes, which, matter of fact, are one of the top five diseases, especially here in our nation, in America. So let me kind of put this in perspective, with regard to that, because I'm thinking of a time in my life um, when let me see if I want to make sure I do all this. A time in my life when, oh gosh, I would eat, well, they usually recommend you eat 3 times a day, 2 snacks, but that's different for everybody. But I remember back in the day, my relationship was not the good fit type of relationship. Mine was more of the toxic guilt shame, because now I'm diagnosed with this autoimmune condition, don't know what the heck is going on in my life, and I'm like feeling a sense of embarrassment, I'm feeling miserable because I have a lot of pain. I'm feeling unattractive because I don't feel like I can relate to my spouse anymore because my body looks different. I feel ugly. I feel gross. I mean, all the names you can call it. I was thinking it. Okay, so I would hide. I know this never happened to you, but this is what happened to me. I would hide food in my bedroom closet. I know it was very sneaky. I felt ashamed that I was doing this, so my hubby wouldn't know because on the outside I looked different, and on the inside I felt the pain. So I felt the food, that relationship with food, had to comfort me, had to put me in place of my husband because I felt that since I was unattractive to him and my body had already changed and shifted and gaining weight and I'm flaring up and I just have all the pains, that the food would some kind give me uh, comfort, So, and then on top of that, I would, at night with the children or anybody, when we're eating food at dinner, I would kind of clean off their plates. Like if they didn't want to eat something, I would eat it. And that's being a garbage collector, right? So, um, just cleaning off the plates. It didn't matter if it was my husband's plate or my kid's plate. So, talking about that now just kind of reminds me of a conversation I had last night with women's group member that I'm a part of. We're talking about, our plates. And our plate is so significant when we talk about food because here in America, everything is surrounded by food. Everything we do, whether we go to a wedding, a funeral, a birthday party, a shower, or the girls are getting together, or the guys even get together for a sports event, everything is related to food. So, how do we deal with our relationship with food? It's not easy. When we have addictions, and I'm guilty of this, is that how do you overcome an addiction? You have to get support some kind of way. You have to talk about it, okay? And I'm always thinking to myself nowadays, is like, what does God say? How do I improve my relationship with food? And I wanted to give you some ideas with regard to some steps you can take personally. And the first thing I thought of is your mindset. Well, I don't like to say mindset all the time, but it's the way you're thinking. How are you thinking? What is your perspective on food? Are you eating to live or living to eat? Now, that's another video, so you can check that out on my channel. But that's another video about eating to live, to live, and to eat. Okay, how are you thinking about the food? You know, is it something for sustenance or something that you have to obsess about and that you have to more think about it? Another thing, another point I want to make with regard to relationship with food to help you out for practical steps is check your plate out. Really look at what's on your plate that's nutritious, that's really going to improve your healthy situation instead of not. And listen, guys, I'm not saying I'm perfect by no means. I still grapple each day with food and making better choices. Some days I'm better than others. Some days I might be tired and I just eat whatever's there, or I might buy something out that I know darn well is not good for my body. Um, but I'm working on that each and every day, and I'm here to help you do the same thing. Another thing is that helps you out. The third point I thought about is eat in moderation. Sometimes, and this could help you with that, eat in moderation. Sometimes we're rushing our day. Like we're rushing this morning to get the kids to school. We're rushing to get to work. We're rushing to get to the church. So we just grab something on the highway. We just grab something at a fast food store and we're scuffing it down. And then it doesn't give the body time to digest. And then you didn't really recognize that you ate, so you eat again. That's how your body works. So that's another thing. Number four is avoid guilty pleasures because they give you toxic feelings. And I know if you've not heard this story, you'll hear it again. My guilty pleasure was Cinnabon. It's a big store that's probably around the United States a lot. And I used to eat a lot of those, and it has a lot of calories, a lot of sugar, and it just made me feel bad. I mean, I felt good for the time being for it to go down, then I felt guilty for eating it. So work on finding ways not to always associate different foods with guilt, because guilt and shame is not your portion at all. I mean, if you're going to get something that you really enjoy, make a decision and find out a way in your life how to put that into your week's eating plan. Okay, um, and get support. Really, when we talk about relationship with food, it's getting support, finding other people that are going to keep you accountable beside yourself, because you can't do this alone, girl. You really can't. And I found that out. I was trying to do it alone, and it just got worse and worse. So get the support from other people in your life that won't enable you, but will keep you to the task, will keep you accountable. Whether it's checking in each day, like, okay, how was your eating? How are you feeling? I like to keep a journal, food journal. That's another way of kind of seeing exactly what you're eating and how did you feel that day? Were you eating a lot of garbage and junk because you had a headache, or something happened terribly in your life, or your day didn't go well because of a supervisor, your job, whatever. Keep a food journal with the emotions. You kind of see exactly how you're going. So those are the couple of things I wanted to share with you today with regard to some practical steps. Your mind, think about it, how you're thinking. Check what's on your plate. Okay, eat in moderation. Okay, avoid guilty pleasure, because that definitely creates toxic feelings, um, and get support, and be accountable. That's what we can do. And I want to remind you guys, and if I haven't already, I'm sure I have, I just want to remind you some great things are happening up this month with regard to the free live webinar I'm hosting September 25th on Wednesday at 1 p.m. It's in the show notes with regard to the exact link. We're going to talk about 3 easy steps for you with regard to taking charge and taking control. You have the availability to get your freedom back. Okay? The story of sickness doesn't have to be your story. Okay? It doesn't have to be your label. You don't have to curse yourself by saying it's yours. You can change it. And there's some 3 easy steps that we're going to work through in this free live webinar. Okay. Put it on your calendar. It's through Zoom. You have to register for it, of course. I welcome you. I welcome you sharing it with some friends, your family, co-workers, colleagues, whatever. We together as a team and as a community can work together to reverse dis-ease in our bodies and our minds, and I truly believe in that. So I just wanted to shout out with you guys today with regard to relationship with food. If you missed this, check it at the beginning. Look forward to seeing you Thursday live at 12:30 for my lunchtime live stream, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. So take care and have a remarkable day on purpose.